My name is Greg Green, and I have recently pushed myself to get a degree in business management, the field that I've worked in for most of my adult life. At nearly 50 years old, and having been a successful regional leader for a global company, I found myself not only unemployed, but apparently unemployable in the industry that I'd worked in for nearly 20 years. Nearing 50 years old, I'm finally getting the formal education in the field I worked for most of my adult life. I've always been that type of worker who showed up early and stays late, and pay attention to processes and get the job done in an efficient manner. This always put me in a position to earn raises, bonuses, and promotions, so I usually rose in rank with any company I worked for. Eventually, this put me in a position to earn a regional leadership role with a competing company. That said, I've always been that type of worker that stayed on task and made sure the job was done right. I could be counted on to be early daily and stay late if needed, many times of my own volition, to get the job done. I would consistently earn raises, bonuses, and promotions, eventually becoming a branch manager before becoming hired away by a competitor. Part of the reason for this success was that I always took the company up on its offers for internal training or classes that vendors had provided for us to sharpen our skills. At the same time, however, I did not have formal education in business or in anything else. This is something I would come to regret. That said, I'd been hired away by a competitor to take on a regional leadership role. My current company had failed to give me the opportunity to move to that next level when I needed it and felt I needed it. And that company was also experiencing what I felt was an identity crisis that made me susceptible to offers from other companies. I was not looking for a job, but I was willing to listen. So next, I took a call of an employment recruiter that had been trying to reach me for about a month. I'd ignored his calls, but I took the call and listened to the description of the role. It sounded right up my alley, so I took the chance and accepted an interview. After a round of tests and another couple of interviews, I was offered and accepted the role of Southeast Regional Manager. At this point, I'm now in charge of 4 branches across 4 states. The role was slightly changed, description to district manager, reporting indirectly to 2 vice presidents and reporting directly to the president and COO. It was interesting as one of the VPs snarked, "It's going to be tough having 3 bosses." Those 2 VPs didn't know I was getting hired to run parts of their regions until I was introduced to them. Turns out that I worked out so well for the snarky VP that he gave me 2 more branches within 3 months. And he worked to get me a raise that quickly as well. Next, at the end of that year, I was promoted to the original role of Southeast Regional Manager and now had those 2 VPs southern states directly on my own without their involvement. Over the course of the next 4 years, I was responsible for the new combined territories going from $20 million in sales and losing $400 million in operating profit to $53 million sales and a positive operating profit of $2.6 million. I was responsible for 10 states, 10 branches, and 53 employees. In 2018, I had the toughest performance evaluation that I'd ever had, yet it was still a positive overall evaluation that led to a raise. Then 6 months later, I was unceremoniously fired with no performance improvement plan offered, no warning, nothing. Next, I found myself unemployed. So in conclusion, I started by seeking employment in the industry that I had thrived in for almost 2 decades. I was active on committees with the largest industry association and was generally highly regarded and very well connected. Unfortunately, none of that led to me getting hired within the industry. I had all that experience, but did not have that piece of paper to go along with it, proving that I had the education. In that industry, pretty much everyone from salespeople up are degreed professionals. I was not. After getting canned, I was very confident that I could and would go to work quickly with a competitor or one of our suppliers that I worked with. That did not happen. It was like I was ostracized within my own industry. Meanwhile, I was getting a lot of calls from franchise brokers looking for candidates for franchise expansions. I met and exceeded 4 of the 5 criteria to be selected for a franchise, but that one that I did not meet was crucial, so I could not get a franchise. One of the brokers reached back out and asked if I'd be interested in doing what he does. After reviewing the description of the role, I paid my dues and entered that realm. While I've yet to find success in this endeavor, I've not given up. And I've also gotten real estate licenses in both Georgia and Florida. What led me to Herzing is that one of my contacts at the Veterans Administration let me know about VRAP, Veterans Rapid Retraining Assistance Program. That is a program designed to retrain veterans into high demand roles. They pay for the school and they give a housing allowance while you're in school. Thankfully, I qualified, and business management is an approved course, so here I am. Finally, getting a degree in the profession that I worked in all those years. If you're not going to learn a trade, get your education, kids. Thank you.